Hello and welcome to Health Talk. I'm Dr. Manny. 1 in 9 older Americans has Alzheimer's disease, but a new diet could help you cut the risk in half. It's called the MIND diet and mixes elements from the Mediterranean and DASH diets, both known to protect against dementia. Here to help us with all of this is Dr. Mike Fenster. He's a cardiologist, chef, and author of The Fallacy of the Calorie, which is a great book, by the way.
Thank you so
much.
Pleasure to be here.
Listen, I think that, look, with, I think, over 5 million people, Alzheimer's, dementia, and people getting older, food for the mind becomes quite important. Now,
Absolutely.
You talk about this MIND diet. What is it exactly?
Well, it stands for Mediterranean DASH Interventions for Neurodegenerative Delay. And the trick is, if you can remember that 5 times in 5 minutes from now,
right,
you're going to be okay.
You're sure there's no dementia.
But it's really a combination of the Mediterranean approach, like the DASH diet is, with some tweaks. One of the things is that in addition to eating more vegetables, they emphasize green leafy vegetables, which has been shown to help prevent cognitive delay.
Right.
In addition, also, it concentrates on berries, blueberries, strawberries, other berries, that among all the fruits, again, have been shown to be particularly helpful.
You have 5 foods that we should not eat.
Well, the MIND diet emphasizes these 5 particular foods to at least consider in moderation.
Okay.
So what they recommend is cutting back red meat, cutting back butter and stick margarine, which they kind of lump together.
Right.
They recommend cutting away and doing away with the pastries and the sweets, or again,
right,
at least
so the fine carbohydrates, the flour, the excess
and the fried
sugars,
foods and the fast
right,
foods.
So
and
those things we should, you know, once in a blue moon,
Absolutely.
But don't make that part of your staple.
Exactly.
All right. Now let's talk about breakfast. Breakfast. What do you recommend for breakfast?
We've got something here that's absolutely fabulous,
okay,
and it's great for like a simple brunch. What we've done is we take some fresh pears, get some fresh organic pears. We've poached them in some red wine and
Wonderful.
apple cider, going to give you some layers of flavor. You can do it in champagne for a fancy brunch. And we filled it with something called a frumenti, which is, think about a oatmeal made from wheat. Very classic, very historical in the Mediterranean.
You get fiber.
Right. It's a whole grain, so it's made from like bulgur wheat.
Right.
A coarse, cracked grain. And then we've topped it with some dried fruits and nuts, also highly emphasized in the MIND diet.
All right, so very balanced, beautiful, elegant, and easy to do.
Easy to do, and if you like, we've got kefir, which is a probiotic, fermented. You could use yogurt and use that to accompany it.
You know,
beautiful and delicious.
This is a very classy type of breakfast. Now let's talk about lunch.
So we've got something here. We've got couscous and quinoa, salad, some fresh greens, and the couscous here now we're using is an Israeli or Mediterranean couscous, so it's made with a durum wheat.
Okay.
Very, very different than the refined white flour, white bread flour that's used in so many of those fast food concoctions and burgers and sandwiches. We've got some fresh vegetables, a little sea salt here,
right,
some fresh olive oil.
Let's stick now with dinner. What am I going to have with dinner?
I'm coming over to you. Yeah, you're coming over to my place. Here we go. So we've got classic from the Mediterranean, a beautiful Italian dish. I first actually had this in Italy on my honeymoon. So it's a lemon rosemary pressed chicken. Simple. All we did was take olive oil and herbs. So again, we're getting away from that modern Western diet of sugar, salt, and fat as flavors, using herbs, olive oil, fresh citrus, and we grilled it.
You grill this in an oven?
You can put it on the grill. You can put it on the stove in a grill pan.
Right.
It's absolutely beautiful. Just cut the backbone out. And you can do this ahead of time because you can let it marinate. It's best if it sits in the marinade for at least a day. So a lot of these things can be done.
And the side dish that you recommend?
We've got, again, some lentils and chickpeas, so a little beans and fibers. Pulses, again, recommended in that MIND Mediterranean diet. And fresh greens, something that we just don't get enough of in the modern Western diet. But we added a little honey mustard because a lot of people don't like them because they can be a little bitter. So we used a little bit of honey just to sweeten, a little bit of mustard to give it some really, really good flavor.
And by the way, as I tell my patients, look, you have a chicken like this, you don't have to eat the whole thing. Save it for the next day.
Absolutely. This makes a great leftover to take for work.
Right.
You can have this for dinner and take it for, makes a great cold salad for lunch. Absolutely.
And of course, you being the great chef that you are, dessert.
Well, you know, I had to take us back to our Mediterranean roots here. So this is a honey barley fruit tartlet. The recipe for this, for the tartlet shell, believe it or not, is from 100 AD from a philosopher in the court of Commodus, Polonus, and he talks about honey, barley cakes, and we turned it into a little fresh fruit tartlet.
There you go. And then you can mix your own. You have a little fresh fruit there.
Yeah, you got a little fresh fruit. And what we did is you take this and you could put this in a little wine and honey, or just, you know, some mead, which is a fermented honey wine. We'll drizzle just a little bit of honey on there. Simple and delicious. And we can add some of these really healthy fresh nuts as well.
Look, I'm going to try this for everybody out there watching. Go ahead, here's my review here.
And of course, you've got to have just a little bit of wine to wash it down, because moderate alcohol consumption is part of the mind.
Good cholesterol. Thank God for that. All right. Salud.
Salud.
Thank you. Well, where can people get information about all this?
whatscookingwithdoc.com. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter.
And get your book.
And get the book, The Fallacy of the Calorie.
There you go. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
All right. And if you have any health questions, you can send them here at drmanny@foxnews.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Manny.